Today has been a crazy day inside Manchester United, and I'm going to tell you everything that's been going on. Heaven has been announced. Dorgu has had his medical that is completed pending his announcement. Marcus Rashford seen waving goodbye to his teammates as he's set to join Aston Villa. And when that deal goes through, Manchester United should get the deal done. But there is now some talk of Leon Bailey to Manchester United. I'm going to give the latest on that if we cannot get Tell. There's some updates on Nkunku and more. Now, Leon Bailey last season had a really good season. Was one of Aston Villa's better players. This season, he's been poor, but we're going to talk about that later on. But let's dive into, obviously, what's been going on inside United, the Dorgu, the Heaven, the Rashford situation. So, Ayden Heaven was announced today. Obviously, you know he's coming in. He is an 18-year-old left-sided centre-back from Arsenal. Very good ball carrier, very good top talent. He's been told that actually he is the backup to Lisandro Martinez, which is interesting. But with Kokonki making the squad and getting in the bench and him being a bit more developed than Kokonki, it's clear that Ruben Amorim is putting that left-sided centre-back from the youth on the bench to be backup for Lisandro Martinez. Now, talking of regular starters, talking of the first proper signing of the Amorim era, because we've got Heaven and Leon, but that is Patrick Dorgu. Dorgu signing his 5-year contract as a new Manchester United player right now. The deal is sealed, said Fabrizio Romano, and Patrick Dorgu has completed his medical and signed his contract ahead of being officially announced as a United player very soon. We've got a little bit of footage of Patrick Dorgu in and around Manchester. Good to see him with his agent. This was him earlier as he landed in Manchester this morning. He was spotted. Obviously, Sky Sports will be chasing him. He's thinking, at Lecce, he probably doesn't have this, but when you go to Manchester United, you've got the media all over you, asking for anything. He's basically saying that he's sort of excited about joining United, but he was getting off the plane. He had his medical. I don't know if an announcement will be tomorrow because it's game day, but I think an announcement could come Monday, maybe late tomorrow after the game, or maybe in the morning before the game. Actually, maybe they announce it at the game. Who knows? But I'm very excited for this signing. I just wish he could be able to play on Sunday, to be honest. I wish he was able to play on Sunday. That's the only thing for me. I'm assuming he's going to be announced at the game tomorrow because it's home, but I just wish he was able to play because we just massively need that left wing back. So yeah, let's get into the next story. Marcus Rashford says goodbye to his teammates. Marcus Rashford has now said goodbye to Manchester United players and staff members ahead of his move to Aston Villa. Aston Villa will apparently cover 60% of Rashford's wages, but other sources are saying it's 85%. I hope it's 85% because we're sending him to another Premier League club. But Marcus Rashford has been waving goodbye to his Manchester United teammates and saying goodbye to them. If you don't know the Marcus Rashford situation, I obviously did a video on it earlier today. But in regards to Marcus Rashford, Fabrizio Romano confirmed he's agreed personal terms to join Aston Villa. He's got fed up with waiting for Barcelona. David Ornstein said Rashford to Aston Villa is expected to happen. A green light on Villa's end. Marcus Rashford agrees personal terms. Wage structure between United and Villa for the loan is agreed. It's only the option to buy. I think this is a Premier League rival. You probably want a 50-60 million option to buy, even though it probably would have been 40 million if it was abroad. I think you put 60 million on there because if he balls it out at Villa and scores like 20 goals, let's say, he probably won't, but he does ball it out at Villa, we want 50-60 million. We don't want them getting him for 30-40 million to strengthen them. I don't know if he'd stay at Villa. I think if he balls it out, I think he'd use them as a stepping stone to get to Barcelona, which I think is where Marcus Rashford wants. But who are the Marcus Rashford replacements? Because apparently Leon Bailey could be one. Bayern Munich's Matthias Tell and Aston Villa's Leon Bailey are options being considered by Manchester United ahead of Monday's transfer deadline. A move for Bailey would be separate from Marcus Rashford's proposed loan move to Villa. United are yet to advance talks with either Villa or Bayern, but both have been discussed should they be made for an available loan. I assume Tell is the priority. I assume Tell is the focus. We've also got links to Nkunku. I think Tell and is probably the priority, but maybe they'll look at Nkunku and Leon if they can't get Tell, because now Rashford's gone and Anthony's gone, they're going to have to get a replacement as well. And Leon Bailey is there as potentially being discussed in a short-term loan. Obviously, with Rashford going to Villa, they're likely to sanction that. I think Leon Bailey was unbelievable last season for Villa, but he's been pretty crap this season. I don't think he suits Amorim ball. I think Tel and Nkunku would be my preferred options where they come on loan with maybe an option to buy. We need bodies. We need someone to come on loan. I don't really want to do permanent deals, but I think Tel on loan with an option to buy at £40 million, if he's good, is a good position for United to be in. In terms of other news, in terms of other stories as well of Rashford replacement, it is said that United will hold further talks with Bayern Munich over a move from Matthias Tel as they line up a replacement for Rashford. Tel said to all the other clubs he doesn't want them. It's Manchester United where he stays at Bayern, and that Bayern, apparently, according to reliable sources, would sanction a loan deal. Tel wants a loan deal with the option to go back to Bayern. His first choice is United. I believe that Tel to Manchester United will happen, but I think Nkunku and Leon Bailey are there in the background. I think Nkunku goes to Bayern when Tel goes to United. Leon Bailey will get less minutes now that Marcus Rashford's in, but no, I think Leon Bailey and Nkunku are possibilities, but I'm pretty confident we get Tel because Bayern are open to loan, the players open to loan, and we know that Tel himself really wants Manchester United. I think tomorrow will be a big day. And look, obviously tomorrow and Monday, I'm going to be doing multiple content over the transfer window. So, guys, if you want to stay updated on all the latest Manchester United news stories and more, make sure you do click that subscribe button. So we've got mixed reports coming on Rashford's wages, but I want Villa to be paying at least 85% if he's going to a Premier League rival. It was said that Manchester United and Aston Villa have agreed terms in principle for the loan transfer of Marcus Rashford till the end of the season. Villa have agreed to pay a loan fee and will cover the majority of Rashford's £325k a weekly salary. Villa also have the option to buy the forward in the summer. So they're just working on an option to buy. Lutka says that Villa will pay the majority of Rashford's 325k a week salary, which is interesting because Rashford's on 300k a week. That's been cut down 20% because we're not in the Champions League. It's actually on 250k a week at the moment. So I'm not sure why the media are rounding up Rashford's salary as well. I've been asked a few times, though, about who the ideal Rashford replacement is. And for me, it's Cunha for left 10. But if you're thinking who we can get now, Tel profile-wise is probably what Rashford could be. And I think Nkunku in terms of systems is a good fit because he's experienced. I wouldn't welcome Nkunku on a permanent, but on the loan I would. Bailey, I don't think he fits. Nkunku fits the system. Bailey, I don't think he fits the system. Tel, I think, could fit the system. Tel's potential one for the future. Nkunku's probably most likely to make the biggest impact now. But Nkunku, I could only do a loan. Tel, I'd probably want a loan with an option to buy, and it being a nice option to buy. In regards to Tel, it said that Manchester United are ready to step up their interest in Matthias Tel, and Bayern Munich remain open to loaning out. So if Bayern are open to loaning the player wants the move and wants to loan, and United only want to loan him, I'd be very shocked if Tel doesn't happen. Why would we choose Leon Bailey over Tel? Like this, like, do you know what I mean? I'd be very shocked if Tel doesn't happen because why would we choose Leon Bailey over Tel? Nkunku maybe because of the experience and I think he suits Amorim's system, but I think it will be Tel. And the Mullock of the Mirror said there's a growing belief that Manchester United can secure a loan deal for Bayern Munich's Tel. There's a feeling very strong that United are going to be able to pull off Tel on loan. I'd be very shocked if we don't get him, and I've said that multiple times. But look, I feel like in regards to United, we've won 5, drawn 1, and lost 1 of our last 7 games in 2025, which I think doesn't feel like that because I feel like we've been crap. And the fact that we lost to Brighton, that lost 7-0 to Forest today, is crazy. But I do think we are a little bit on the up. Like, I'm not concerned about relegation. I'm still concerned about the lack of quality in the squad. We still need someone with a bit of experience up top. I like Tel, but we need some of experience. We need an experienced attacker. If I could have Cunha coming in, I would feel amazing, but he's about to sign a new deal at Wolves. I still think we need an experienced attacker, but I do feel with the wingback coming in, there's reports saying that the Kenda deal is basically done as well. I'll probably talk about that in my live stream tomorrow, but there is reports and news that Kenda is done. It's £40 million or £42 million, but it's not coming from the most reliable sources. But Dorgu and Kenda coming in, Tel potentially coming in, just get a couple of experienced players in the other key positions. And I think, we'd start to see Amorim ball shape up because we're seeing Amorim's system and Amorim's ball. It's just not working great because we don't quite have the quality of players. And, Rasmus Højlund, there was some really bad statistics about his expected threat being the lowest of all Premier League attackers and stuff. And, there's talk of Ruben Amorim not rating Rasmus Højlund. And I think one of Højlund or Xerxes could go in the summer. And we will need that experienced attacker. But I think we just need a body. We need an option to come off the bench because when Garnacho starts, there was no one to come off the bench to take Garnacho's place in the 10 role. We need someone with a bit of pace, a bit of energy, a bit of threat to come off the bench. But listen, people, I hope you enjoyed today's 10-minute Manchester United news and transfer roundup. I will be back in the morning, probably with a live show, and then I'll be back for a match reaction after Manchester United versus, I was about to say Villa, Crystal Palace. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you for watching. Bye.